Hi, this is Mariah, also known as Mariah Amazing.
And hey.
Hey everybody, and you're with Melanin Voices.
I'm not saying it.
Are you not going to say it with me? Wow, fuck you.
I'm not going to do that.
Wow, she's so fake, y'all.
But you are tuned into Melanin Voices, y'all. So what's popping?
No, it got to be in unison.
I'm not doing it.
Whatever.
I refuse.
Can we just talk about our guest today? Thanks.
Yes, okay.
Perfect. Well, we have a very special guest on, a dear friend of mine, Kayla. And she will be talking to us all about Doula-ing. Is that a word? Doula-ing? Like Doula-ing. Like
yeah, you can make it a word.
Doing her doula shit. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, so it kind of coincides with last week because we had a mommy on, and this is kind of womanhood and motherish, and so this is cool. This all kind of connects.
You're making up words today?
I'm not making them up. They're already
motherish?
Words.
That's a word, I guess.
I swear to God, it's a word.
Okay.
Anyway, so it's not. I made up words. How do you think the language came to be? People made up words.
That's true. That is true.
They made it up. But anyways, we have Kayla on to talk to us about being a doula and all things doula. But before we hop into that, we want to talk about our girl talk for the week, which is what is one goal you guys did this week and what is one you want to incorporate for next week?
Let's start with our guest so I could think of something.
Put on this hot seat.
So this weekend it's snowing, so I didn't go out the house too much, but I got new linen, so that was great because my skin, like, maybe it's the new linen. Like, I'm always trying to figure out ways, like, why is my skin breaking out? So I went with my bedding. And I worked on a fellowship that I'm trying to apply to.
Yes.
So I'm almost done with that, thank God. And then next week, what is my goal next week? What is happening next week? I never keep up with it. Or I'd be like, wait, what am I? I guess next week I want to. I'm looking for another job, so I need to start looking.
Amen, girl. And we all.
I'm praying for you. So am I.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to actually apply to some research positions. So yeah,
that'd be nice. Well, keep up in spirit so you can get that position you really want.
Thank you.
And deserve.
What about you?
No, I was coming to you. You're so fake for that.
Anyway.
One thing that I got done this week was I'm trying to think what I really got done.
This is your thing, so you better have something.
Well, that's why I wanted you to go first so I can kind of
I'm going to go first.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So this week I got my hair done. That was a goal.
Oh, that's cute.
I'm growing dreads, y'all. So
you get locks.
I am.
I was like, that was like a flexi.
It's like
I didn't know.
It's like
I know it's like the starter blocks, but I didn't know if you were like actually doing locks or if you were like just doing something new with your haircuts.
Yeah. So I'm trying to go with the lock journey. I like them so far. I don't have to do anything to my hair, so that's a plus. Right. I'd be like struggling.
Right.
I think I want them to be a little bit bigger though. I want them to be like really big. Like, I don't want that many.
You don't want, yeah. That's fair.
Not like slick them. Like what do you like? You know, because slick them got like 4. So.
No, not like 4. Maybe like 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you have about like what 40, maybe 45?
I don't know, but
it looks like twice that what you want.
Yeah. I think I want them to be bigger. I really wanted to go for like the I forget what you call
locks.
Yeah, freeform locks. Yeah. But I was like, I don't know. I'm kind of scared to do that. Yeah. But that's the look I want to go for.
Okay,
so
I can see that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Kayla just did something with her hair. She just shaved out her hair off.
How you feel? Tell me how you feel.
Like I feel like better because like now, you know, like if my hair is not doing what it wants to do, there's really like nothing I can do about that. It's kind of like where you really have to accept it. Like, oh, okay, it's not like it's like, oh, it's not working. I'll throw it up in a ponytail because like can't do that.
Yeah.
So it's like either you rocking with it or you not. So like I like it. Like I really want to give myself some finger waves. I was telling Mariah.
Yes, I know you were telling me. I really want you to do it too.
Yeah, so I'm excited. Like, I'm not in any rush to really grow it back. Like,
yeah, I feel you, girl.
I would like honestly feel like if I cut my hair, I don't know if I would ever grow it back. Cause I see so many short hairstyles and like their hair just like, they just look so bomb.
I can see you with short hair, like a short haircut.
I really
like
wanted to do that.
Cut? I could see you.
I always wear big hoops anyways. I didn't feel like it just fits my personality.
Yeah.
I mean, long hair is cool, but you could always throw in a wig. Like
yeah,
you can always throw in a wig, i.e. what I have on now. So it's totally okay. But yeah. But I think for this week I accomplished what Kayla was saying earlier was fellowshipping. I looked up some fellowships I could probably qualify for. And circling back to, I think maybe last week or the week prior to that, when we did our, like, what are you going to be when you grow up kind of thing, and I was telling you how I always wanted to be like a floral arrangement person. I actually applied for a floral arrangement job.
Good.
But they don't pay well, so I don't know how I can really work there. Yeah. But we'll see what happens. I did apply for it, though, so that's good. Mm-hmm. And then one goal that I want to do for the next week to implement is kind of still applying for positions because, as you all know, I am unemployed. So if you would like to give me some work, please reach out. My pockets would love it. So will my bills. But so that's that, and also just moving out of my parents' house.
I wouldn't do anything.
I can't wait.
My mama again, because like, what's the rush? Like, I feel like we rush ourselves, and we're honestly everyone has their own reasons, but like,
you must not have the kind of mama I got. If you saying that,
no, Kayla's mama's dope. Like that's why I just like sat here like, that's what's up. Like that's cool.
I don't know, like. After living in DC, you'd be like, this rent is high, and I could be saving so much money, but it's just the way the economy is set up. You know, it makes it hard for millennials to like.
Yes, it definitely does. Like, don't get me wrong, I've been here for 3 years. It's about that time. Like, as soon as I got out of college, I came to my mother's house. I bounced around between my mom and my dad's house, so now I'm like really at my mom and my stepdad's house right now. But it's not the ideal situation. Like, I'm like on the couch and like still paying rent. So it's like, I might as well just be out, you know? So yeah, that's the only reason why I want to leave. Cause I'm like 3 years on the couch, my back's hurting. So I'm like, let me go ahead and transition to a place of my own. But yeah.
I guess it's like a matter of like when you transition, like just kind of like let it flow freely. Sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. Don't rush it.
Yeah, don't rush it.
Definitely. Trust me, girl. I've been taking my 3-year-long time. I did not want to move. Let me tell you. I was like, well, I mean, free food. Okay. Free food. Like,
free. Yeah.
But yeah. But I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to moving back in with my mom if I absolutely had to. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Or living with any family member, you know, that would open their arms and hold. Yeah. I'm totally all for cohabitating with your, like, you know, not cohabitating, sorry, but like living with your family for as long as you can to save. I think that's really, like, if I had children, I would let them definitely live with me until they're able to stand on their own 2 feet. Like,
right. Yeah, I don't know. I would definitely like love a grandmother in the house. Like, I like the idea
too, like a big, like, big family. Yeah, like I would love that for my children to grow up with their grandmother and they can like learn like, you know, values and stuff that's like family traditions. I would love that. But yeah.
You don't have kids right now, so
right. Let's not even put that on ourselves. I know you're like, I want my 10 kids today. But anyways, on to
the next. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just like,
on to our Melanin message.
Anyway.
So what made you want to become a doula, Kayla? Like, what made you like say, hey, I want to be a doula?
I think we should start with her telling us a little bit about herself, just because she has more than doula under her belt. And I want you to have the opportunity to tell us, girl, what everything you do, girl. Everything.
Who are you, Kayla, and what do you do?
Okay, so yeah, I'm Kayla. I am a Denver native. I currently live in Washington, D.C. I'm going on into my 3rd year here now. I'm not excited, but I'm doing it because I'm here for school. So I'm, like I was telling you guys earlier, I'm in a graduate program that focuses on international relations and global security. I currently work at a place that focuses on international economics. So with that being said, where I work, we actually help foster the economy, the world economy. If anything goes wrong, don't come our way because I don't know what's going on. But where we work, we help the world economy go round and round. So I don't know what to say about myself. I started doula-ing. Well, I recently became. Can I go into it?
It's a word.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I know. It might be a made up word. But the reason why I went into the doula field is because I went to this conference in New York. It was by Women of Color in Solidarity. So they're a group. I know they're on Facebook, but like they basically focus on creatives, people who work in public health, and people who kind of work on the holistic in all fields of women of color, whether that cross-sectional identity is. So I went to their conference, and I went to one of the like the meetings, so not one of the sessions, and it was called like Baby Mama something. Like the names were like really dope, and so I was like, what is this? So I ran out of things to go to, so I went there and they started talking about like reproductive justice, and they brought this word up, doula, and I was like, what is that? Like I was like, what is that? And the thing is, what happened was we had ran out of time at the session, so I really didn't understand what she was talking about. So later on, I like talked to one of the girls, and I was like, hey, like, what is a doula? And she started telling me, and I was like, okay, that's cool. So I kept researching it. She sent me like a bunch of links, and I was like, okay, like when I was younger, I wanted to be a OBGYN. Now, that requires a lot of money and a lot of schooling that I don't have. So after that, I was like, okay, this is a good tune. Like you can be in the birthing room without necessarily going to medical school. So I like the idea of being a doula. Now there are multiple doulas. You have people who are birth doulas. You have postpartum doulas. You even have death doulas. People who are experiencing going through what is it called? It's like a terminated illness. What is
Terminal.
that? Terminal, thank you. A terminal illness. And so you have death doulas for that, who kind of help the family be able to transition into that new space. So that's kind of where I got started. I went to a conference and I was like, oh, what is this? And then I started doing research about what organizations I could go through. So I went through DONA. DONA is a national doula organization, DONA. And I got my certification in childbirth, breastfeeding. So you help with teaching women how to be able to help the babies latch, and then also labor. So you have to understand the whole medical part to be able to be a doula. Even though you're not a medical person, it's important that you understand that so you know how to advocate for the mother. So that's kind of what the certification goes through, is getting to understand those terms in relation to mother and baby.
So I went to a birthing center like a month ago, maybe 2 months ago or something like that, because I thought like a doula and a midwife were the same thing, but I found out a doula or a midwife has like sometimes they have master's degrees like in the medical profession. So that's something like you have to. Well, I guess there are two types of midwives. There's the one type that goes to school, and then there's the other type that's like in the Amish community or something like that, like something that they are kind of given the title of that. So I have a question. Do you have to do you have to do you have to have a midwife in the room when you like go through the birthing process with a mom, or can you be like just you and the mom and whoever she decides to have in the room with her?
So usually what's happening when, if you're like at a birth center or if you're at a hospital, a lot of times you're going to be there more than the midwife, because the midwife or the doctor, they have other pregnancies that they're monitoring. So you're kind of there constant. Now, the thing is with being a doula, you can't do anything that's like medical. Like, so you can't, check if the membrane's been ruptured. You can't, decide when to give people any type of medicine. Like, you basically relay that information from yourself to the family, so then they can have a better understanding and how they can go forth with how they want their birth to, what they want their birth to look like. But for instance, if you have a home birth, most of the time you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna be the constant. And, like the midwife, she'll come there when maybe it's a little bit more of the active labor, but you're definitely more present during like the pre-labor and the early labor phase, and then they come when you're kind of in the birthing phase and the placental phase as well.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
So what's like more of your
doula style?
Yeah, your style of
you're like high energy,
Here
like yes, you got this, or you're like relax, just breathe, just.
So I think so. I'm still learning my doula style just because I am new. Like I started in September. And I have not dealt with my personal client. I work at a birth center. I volunteer at a birth center for 24 hours a shift.
I didn't know you could volunteer there.
Yeah. There's one actually that's like half a block away from me, so it's really convenient to go to. And so but my style and what style that I would like to have is to kind of learn how to be a constant, because a lot of times when or a lot of times I never had a child, but I'm pretty sure when you were in that birthing phase, you're kind of looking to others for reassurance. You're like, okay, is everything okay? Especially when you think about Black mothers, they have a lot that they deal with in society. They have a lot of environmental stresses. They have a lot of societal stresses. So you really want to keep them as calm as possible. So you basically want to have like this same demeanor, kind of like calm, being a constant. So then you reassure them like, hey, everything is fine. Because, if you start to stress during labor, what happens is it can slow it down. And then when slowing it down, it can cause a lot of complications. So kind of just being like, I'm only going to trip if there's a reason to trip. I'm not going to start freaking out unless like it's kind of like, and even in that moment, I'm going to learn how to relay that information so that we can be able to make sure we go through this pregnancy with the least amount of complications as possible. So, and just because naturally, like I know I have a big personality, but when it comes to stuff like that, I think I like to have the mother kind of take over that energy in the room, and I kind of make sure it's like being moved in the right direction. Like I don't want to be the one who is stirring the energy with my own energy. Right. I'm kind of directing, like, okay, she's kind of like she's worried right now, And the other thing is important is another one is getting the father a little bit more involved. Even so, like sometimes we see like the fathers in the media, they don't know what to do when their wife is pregnant or their partner is pregnant, and they're usually only seen at the part where they're cutting the cord. Like learning how to really integrate the father into that birthing process or the partner into that birthing process, because then it kind of helps them transition into their family a little bit better, because it's like everyone was involved in this. The dad kind of provided the support for the mother. He knows her best. He will know her. He or she, I understand that, will know her better than I would know her. Any birthing wound. So I try to make sure that I put those people in the positions where they can be advocates as well.
Okay. Do you know any like suggestions as far as like keeping the father involved during the whole pregnancy process? Because I know it's like you see the woman the most, and it's like people don't really know how to involve the father other than going to doctor's appointments into the whole pregnancy process or in the birthing process either. Do you have any tips to like keep the father involved or make him more involved? Not make him, but allow him to be more involved in the pregnancy process?
Yeah, so I think it's important to, like I said, to have the partner.
The partner, excuse me.
Yeah, I know, I have to remember that myself. I think it's important to have the partner involved in all, like you said, all phases of the pregnancy, to make them feel like, you want to give them some type of empowerment as well. Right. And so we have this thing where we do a birthing plan. Like when we do our first initial consultation, we say like, tell us, what is your birthing plan? How do you want your birth to look? And I think it's important to kind of have the partner there to discuss that, because then they can be like, this is what she wants. This is what I can provide. And this is how we can make sure this birthing process goes the way we want it to look like, because at the end of the day, like at the end of that birth, it's going to affect the entire family, not just the mother, more so the mother, or the birthing body. So I think that's a good tip. One is including them in the birthing plan. Two, kind of working alongside the birth person's partner during their labor, because sometimes they get tired. Sometimes they're just like exhausted, especially if it's a long labor. So then you're kind of like, as a doula, you can like shifts. You can kind of take shifts like, okay, you need a time to like re-energize yourself. So let me take over, and then just reassure both partners like, okay, you're doing good. So they can kind of keep that same energy, and then they can have a good outcome at the end of their pregnancy. Yeah, so that's my suggestion.
Do you have like tips for, say I was a woman who was pregnant and I was considering getting a doula, like early stages of my pregnancy, so I'm able to do this. What are some tips that you would have for me? Like, these are some really good traits that you should look for in a doula, or these are some things you should research before you get a doula to see if this is the right decision for you and your family.
So I would say, as far as for someone who's looking for a doula, by the way, there's also doulas who come in during the full term, but a lot of times doulas kind of, their position starts to play out at the end of the pregnancy, starting around like 28, 30 weeks. So you do have time to prepare for that. But when you're looking for a doula, you definitely want to always do the initial consultation, because that way you can see if it fits. A lot of times the initial consultation is free, so they can kind of see like, how do our energies, I know that word is so overly saturated, but how do our energies like intermingle? Yeah. And how do we get along? Because sometimes what you want, you have to be able to learn how to provide that. And the thing with doulas is like, the mother is essentially the one who's in charge. Like, right. You tell me what you want to do, and then we're going to go from there. Like, especially if it goes to like, if someone wants an epidural, if somebody decides that they don't want a C-section, they do want a C-section, you have to be very, very, doulas, they need to be able to not provide their own opinion. And so you have to be aware of that. So you got to make sure that the doula is on your side and that she's always going to be able to advocate for you. As far as what is another good trait to find in a doula,
that's a really good one though.
Yeah. And so maybe, sometimes it's good to find someone who provides, postpartum services, because that's some of the hardest.
Yeah.
If you go through pregnancy, that's one of the hardest parts, is that after part, because it's like, okay, now there's a child at my house.
What do I do?
What do I do? And so it's nice to have someone who's comfortable enough to come into your home, and you feel comfortable enough with them to come into your home and kind of help you out with that. And you want to just make sure they vibe well with your partner too, because you want that to be peaceful. You want to come home to peace, and you want to make sure that you all get along.
Right.
And that's what I was saying.
Okay.
Do you know if like birthing centers or at home doulas or midwives take like Medicaid? Like, do you know if that's a way that they can like
afford?
Yeah. Take care of the cost of that? Or is it only like private insurance, or is it only like, nah, you got to pay for this yourself kind of thing?
So as far as like paying for a doula?
Yeah. The whole paying for the whole at-home birthing process, or even like at a birthing center process. So paying for a doula or a midwife. I'm not sure if you know about midwives, but.
So I do know. So one thing I would like to say is they're starting to learn how to bring doulas, being able to pay for doulas through insurance, through medical insurance. I know in New York, they did pass a bill where Medicaid will offer to pay for the expenses expenses of a doula. And so they're really trying to get, other states on board with that. But for the most part, in some private insurances may do it, help pay for a doula. So that's one thing. And the thing is, when it comes to midwives, insurances will pay for midwives. And I've also learned that midwives sometimes are cheaper than going to the hospital. However, I think that there's still like this stigma that, and it's not a completely true, it's not, I don't want to say it's completely true, but there's this small stigma that says that, like, midwives, they don't feel like they're as much as experienced as doctors. And so sometimes insurance just won't pay for midwives. However, I do know there's really starting to make that a bigger deal because they're starting to see how, like, having a midwife and having a doula has, increased pregnancy mortality rates. I really think I said that right. So basically, it's the causes of birth
decreased it.
Yeah, it decreased it when you have like a midwife and a doula, or either or. Because sometimes when it comes to, like, when you're in a doctor, sometimes they do, let's be honest, they may treat that like you're just a patient. And actually learning that with the hospitals, I think it was in California, they decided, instead of paying like the doctors by birth, because what was happening was there was such a high C-section rate. C-sections, they're quick, and I kind of am going off topic, but sometimes what happens is when they start to pay them by salary, they're like, okay, no matter how many C-sections you do or how many clients you get, you're going to get paid the same. And they saw the C-section rate go down. So it's really, and the thing is why people are trying to bring the rate of C-section cesarean deliveries down is because the after effects of it, they're not necessarily the most comfortable for the mother.
Yeah.
And they kind of, it's a lot of women, they want to have a child like naturally. And sometimes they don't have enough advocacy from the doula to really understand, how can I have a child naturally? Can I have this child naturally? So educating them. But sorry, back to the cost. So when you want to get a doula, if you want to pay for it, they between cost. I know that some doulas, one of my teachers, she charged like $2,000, but like that's for people who can afford it. And then you have some people who are willing to do it for a sliding scale, so some people are like, I'll do it for $300, and they may have, and there's reasons why those prices vary. Some people, when they're a doula, they have other professions they include with it. Like some people are yoga instructors. Some people do acupuncture within their doula work. They kind of help relieve a lot of the pain for them. And I think like some people, they may do birth photos. They may include that in their package. So the price can range depending on what their specialties are, but also it depends on, what clients they serve. Personally for me, I don't charge for it because I really want to serve my community. So especially when it comes to Black and Latina women, I don't want to charge for it, but some people will charge and some people will pay. So it can range between as low as $300 to $2,000.
Right.
Okay. Do you have any like websites or something that a potential mom, or I don't know, can go to find a doula?
Yeah.
So as far as like websites, so I know that who I got certified through is Dona. So Dona spelled D as in dog, O as in October, N as in Nancy, A as in Apple. So if you go to dona.org, yes, it's .org, they'll have a list. It says find a doula, and then you can find one in your state.
Gotcha.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, what would you like say to somebody who wanted to be a doula after hearing this conversation, or just like they've been wanting to do it for quite some time? How would they like start? Do they go to Dona as well, or do they, like how do they, or they start volunteering?
I would say once it's nice to go volunteer, maybe kind of like see a birth, or like, talk to a midwife, talk to a doula, see what they do.
Yeah.
That's what I did. And then 2, I would say you could go to the Dona website, and it kind of tells you how you can become a doula. And it'll give you all the information, like who you can go to get your certification to. And then there's other places, like I know Colorado has places. You just kind of look up doula organizations in Colorado, and a lot of doula organizations will train you to will provide certifications. They also want to have more women of color in the field, so I got a scholarship to be a doula, to pay for my certification classes, because they do want more women of color in the field, especially with the mortality rates for Black women and the death rates for them as well as their babies. They want to lower that. And then also, yeah, so you want to look up who does the certification, and then also you want to look up if they have scholarships, because sometimes they will have scholarships for you to be able to kind of like lower those expenses.
Right.
And sometimes like maybe you can't pay for, to be a doula, but you can still be a doula. Like you can still do the work. If someone's comfortable enough with you to provide that emotional support and they want you there, like you're just as much as a doula as anybody else, because still they're working on doulas becoming, finding basically in a sense a rubric for them to be certification, because each certification goes to their own board right now, and they're trying to find a centralized board. So you can essentially be a doula as much as the parent allows you to be one.
Right.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Well, how can they reach out to you if they want to get some of your services? Like, hey.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I'm working on starting my own collective and kind of building like an advocacy for birth workers. So I started an Instagram page, which I have to work on because I'm never that active on Instagram.
I was like, what?
Yeah, it's driving me because I'm like, oh, I gotta post, so I gotta stay relevant, and I'm just like, oh, is this what social media is about? So it's called Asali Doula, ASALI Doula, and so basically I came up with the word Asali. It means like honey, and it's honey. It means honey in Swahili, because like I think of women as like honeybees, and honey is very important for the earth. Bees are very important for procreation within the earth, so I kind of think of women as honeybees. That's kind of where I came up with the idea. Yeah, so Asali Doula, I'm working on adding content. I just have to I'm one of those people who have to research so much before I post something, because I'm all about accuracy.
Yeah.
I don't like nobody calling me out like, well,
this link is old and they took this shit down years ago. Like,
right. So I get so nervous when I post, because I'm like, what if somebody really tries it? And you're like, okay.
Yeah, trolls. There's trolls. Yeah, regardless.
There's definitely trolls. And then, so my services are on there. Also, if you do want to look for one, especially if you don't live in the same state as me, I'm very open to finding those resources to provide to you, because sometimes like I'm not in Colorado. I've had people ask me and I'm like, yeah, I'm not there, and it kind of sucks because I've gotten clients and like I can't take them. So
yeah, that's so cool, you guys. Make sure you follow her page. I'm so serious.
Please. I promise you it'll look active soon enough.
Yeah. Soon enough. Kayla's been posting most of her personal page, so
yeah,
work with her.
I'm trying to post my personal page. Someone's like, why don't you post from like, because I went and traveled, and like you should post. And like I'm like, I don't want to like just explode all these.
We want to see the pictures from Dubai and Sri Lanka. Thank you. We want to see the pictures. Thanks.
Yeah, I'll post them more. I'll try.
Okay. That's fair. I guess I'll be quiet about it. But I'm going to jump into Convos and Mariah. And this has nothing to do with doula. So I'm like, what? But this is all I asked on my Instagram this week. All I asked on my Instagram this week. So there was a little meme / post going around for your personal opinions about a certain situation. The situation includes Birdman, includes Kris Jenner, Tyler Perry, Diddy, Oprah, DJ Khaled, and Jay-Z. And it says your business is failing, and each one of these people offer to help you turn it into $1 million empire. Who are you going to choose? And I'm just going to share those responses to what everybody said. And it was so weird. A lot of people like inboxed me and told me, and I was like, I got nervous and I'm about to bust y'all out because of y'all answer. I'm not going to at y'all. I promise you. So I'll just do the ones that I'll just do as a collective. So Molly World, MALIWORLLDD, said Oprah hands down. And the other one that said Oprah is Cookies. COOKEIS said Oprah or Jay. And then the Stylish Gambino said, I'm going to go ahead and say Oprah for 100 Jerry. And Rob Trill Stoney, hey Rob, shout out to you. He does the intro music for our podcast, by the way. He says, I'm asking Oprah. She has the most time and money. Angel said, clearly Oprah.
Everybody,
most people said Oprah. Or Minsu Musa, MENSAHMUSA said Oprah as well. A lot of people said Oprah or Kris Jenner. A little bit of people said Jay. I seen one DJ Khaled. But I actually challenge you guys because I had somebody inbox me, Jasmine. Shout out to you, Jasmine Mitchell. She said everybody is saying Kris Jenner, but she was able to do that for Kim Kardashian's Kim Kardashian's like empire or business or what have you. But will she be able to do the same thing for a Black woman? Because, you know, she was able to flip Kim's scandal into something that's like manifested something like way bigger, but something profitable. Yeah. But would she have done that would she have been able to do that in society if Kim were a Black woman? So that was what she was asking. And I stopped and thought like, I don't know many Black women have had a sex tape and they've like been able to like have a makeup line and skincare and been these big people. So I don't know. Is it like, yeah.
I feel like, well, sometimes I feel like personally it's okay. Like it's always okay if a white woman does it first, and it might be better if it's like a Black woman. So like with the sex tape, I think that if, you know, Kim was a Black woman, maybe it will help because I think it's an identity thing. Like I think it's like a lot of times people don't validate Black women or validate what they do or find any acceptance until a white woman does it or until a white woman allows it. And so I think that personally, I don't think it would have worked the same. I think it would have worked the same, but not as much simply because it's a Black woman. But it helps because a white woman is helping her. Because, what's her name?
Kim or Kris?
Kim or Kris Jenner, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think because, you know, they have that platform where people, you know, they're white women. People look to them they think they're more valid than Black women. And so a lot of times they can be like, okay, it's okay because they said it's okay. But if it's a Black woman standing on her own platform, I don't think that would have went over well. Because with Mimi Foss, like, her tape came out and people completely, like, obliterated her. Like, if Kim or somebody else was behind that, I think it would have went like a lot more better. People are like, oh, it's more freedom because they have someone supporting their platform. And it's sad. I don't want white people supporting my platform. Like, I want to do it by myself. Like,
yeah.
So it's definitely not a white or Black thing, but sometimes it is.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. If I have to choose out of those people, I would say Oprah or Jay. More so because Oprah, like, I mean, yeah, Kris turned something into like something bigger or whatever, but I just say Oprah because she's like well respected in all circles. Like there's not many circles you can go into and people are like, oh, fuck Oprah, you know? So
Jay-Z too.
And Jay-Z too, exactly. I said Oprah or Jay because they're well. I don't want to choose one. But I say Oprah and Jay because they're well respected in many circles and they have a business mindset. So they can really turn anything into a business, really.
Yeah.
And like just them speaking about your business or whatever, it just brings life to it. Like Oprah backed it, Jay backed it. Those are powerful people to back your platform. So, and you know, they're seen in a positive light. Like I mean, some people will say bad ththings, but at the end of the day, if they had the chance to work Oprah or Jay, those bad things that they said about them would not be there anymore. So,
yeah.
And it's long term too. I believe that is very long term. Like Oprah J back you, it's gonna be a long-term thing. It won't be like you're here today, gone tomorrow kind of thing. Like you're always have support.
It has a foundation. I think they have a stronger foundation than like Christian, and like they're founded on reality TV versus Jay-Z. He's been working on this. Oprah has been working on this for so long. Like it'd be hard to make it fall.
Right. I agree. Definitely.
Yeah, I think Oprah, she came from the struggle, so I think that she would kind of be a lot more relatable and also well-rounded. Like, seems like she has her hand in a little bit of everything. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Jay-Z does because he's like a more private person, but it seems like Oprah has her hand in a little bit more of everything, and that she would like really. I don't know the woman personally, of course, but it seems like she would really, train you or send you to the right school or, give you money to go get the right training.
Make sure you have the resources you need
to do whatever you need to do.
I agree. And also, I do like this foundation that Jay-Z, like, he's not in the spotlight. I like that a lot because, so let's say social media goes away tomorrow. Like, I want to have my business still be able to stand and still create revenue without social media standing or backing. You know what I mean? I don't want to have to, like, post every day to promote my stuff because, you know what I mean? Like, I want it to just always be standing, always be relevant. I don't want to have to, I got to do this TV show or I got to do this. I want to be able to rest and still make money or still create profit while I rest.
Yeah,
I feel like Jay-Z's about that. As you can see, I don't even think Jay-Z even has social media. He don't have social media. Like, he doesn't have a social media account, like a Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, none of that. He doesn't have any of that.
I did not know that.
Nope.
I don't see him on there.
Nope. And Beyonce barely posts.
She has some for her.
She posts and goes like
right.
Let me have captions.
Yeah, like here you go, like here you go, bitches. Like finally, here you go. Here's my gift. Bye. So yeah, but you're still buying tickets to Beyonce's show though.
For sure.
I'm posting all the time. You're still gonna buy the concert tickets,
right?
Or that merch. So
yeah, and I think like Kim and them, they post all the time.
They have to. They have to promote their brand. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you so I feel like what would happen if they stop posting? Like, would their brand fall or would it stand as strong as it would? Kylie's brand be so strong, almost a billionaire. Apparently they've literally compared her to Jay-Z. Like,
she's been a billionaire though. They were born into money,
right?
Even Chris. I don't know if she was born into money, but she's been rich,
right? Yeah, I'm not trying to just take from what they made, but it's like definitely were born into money.
Yeah, so they was gonna be good.
They sustained it really well. They sustained it because you can fuck off some money real fast. So they sustained it. So I ain't gonna take that with them, but they definitely it was a bit of a more, not to say people who don't struggle don't deserve, because I would hate that narrative. I really hate that shit. But I'm saying that I could respect that Jay-Z definitely literally came for nothing and really built something.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but yeah, that's it. That's all for Convos with Mariah for the week. Woo! What about you? UnaDish, you got any new dishes for us to try? Any recipes?
I made mashed potatoes the other day, and mashed potatoes are super easy, and you can feed them to your baby since we're having conversations about
that one topic.
Make them from scratch. Oh, of course you make them from scratch. Like, how else can you make them, Kayla?
Yeah, of course they come in a pack, which that pack stuff is like really mind blowing to me. How it can turn from like little crisps into mashed potatoes. It's crazy, but anyways,
it happens.
So you could get your favorite potato. I like using red potatoes. Trader Joe's has like a little melody and it has like a whole bunch of different colors in it. But I was like, I don't know, I'm scared. So I just got like the red potatoes. And I cut them up into like 4. Cut them into 4s, and just boil them until you could stick a fork or a knife through them easily. And then you drain them and just put the potatoes back in a pot. I use heavy whipping cream. I'm sure there are many more healthy recipes to do it. Maybe you could use vegetable stock or something like that to do it so that it's more healthy for you. But anyways, heavy whipping cream, butter, and then whatever seasonings you want to use in it. And that's like a real easy, simple mashed potato recipe. Simple. I like simple food. I don't like, So
that reminds me of cooking with Super. Like, her stuff be so simple, but still looks very good when she makes it.
Yeah.
That's dope.
I ain't fucking with all them ingredients and shit.
Yeah, it's a process. Like, wait, hold on, let me go back. Pinch of salt. How do you pinch of salt to a whole turkey leg? Like, I need to go back to step one because let me circle back. What the hell was that?
And you missed that pinch of salt, and then it's all off. You like, wow.
Wait, what? Oh, well, yeah, no, I like to season the taste. I hate like doing recipes and they're like, I always just like
more.
Yeah. I never use recipes as far as
the dash. Yeah, me neither. Because everybody always asks like, how did you make that? And I'm like, what season do you use? I'm like, I use seasoned salt, garlic. Yeah. Like, how much? I'm like,
a little bit.
How much ever you
shake
feel?
It for about 4 seconds.
Somebody in your ear tell you to stop. The answer.
Right. I was like Law and Order. Sometime Elliot said this to this. This is kind of where it happened. But
no, definitely. When you're seasoning your food, you can always add more, but you can't take away.
Right.
So start with a little bit. Taste it. If you feel like you need some more, add more.
Right.
But taste it so you know.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Because some people some people use a lot of seasons and some people
use none. Yeah, don't use that happy medium. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, I would tell you now, if I'm making the food, it's gonna be spicy. So if you don't like spicy food, do not eat my food. I'm telling you now, because I'm not altering shit. I like spicy food, so
I don't know.
That's it.
I got some milk, and I'm really
like, that. That's me. My lip burning, I don't care.
I swear.
But yeah. But for Black business is obviously Kayla. So like we said, definitely hit up her Instagram. And yeah. Did you want to tell them about what we were texting about like last week?
Oh yes. So hopefully, God willing, in March I'm going to make my way to Colorado so we can have I'm putting together an event called Word to Your Mother. It's just the opportunity for like mothers, including, fathers and their partners, to kind of talk about their experiences with birth. Because essentially people who give birth, they're really the professionals of labor and such forth. So I really want to take the opportunity for them to kind of like reflect on that and to talk about it. And so that way you can be heard. It's an opportunity for, me and other people in the doula community to kind of hear out, parents and how they dealt with transitioning into parenthood, and that way we can kind of make those changes. What changes do we need to make in the community to make sure people are having positive birthing experiences? So
okay,
I'll be on the lookout for you guys be on the lookout for me posting about that. I'm just currently putting together the details,
behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah. And I like to stay behind the scenes as much as possible.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely looking for people to host it. And, so, because I don't like talking. So.
That'd be ridiculous.
Well, if you want somebody.
You're ridiculous, bro. I swear.
Yeah. So, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for mentioning it on the show. So make sure you follow her, or else you're not going to be up to date on what's happening. I mean, we're going to mention it on the show when it's close to it, but just behind the scenes stuff, like it's really cool to see behind the scenes stuff and kind of how it came to fruition. So make sure you follow it. Yeah. And I'll link Kayla's Instagram, both her Instagrams below, so you can stay in contact with her.
Thank you.
Of course. Is there any final thoughts you guys want to talk about?
Let's see. The internet is your best friend. So if you want to, if you're pregnant, newly pregnant, oldly pregnant,
oldly pregnant.
I mean, I'm saying it seemed like you'd be pregnant for like 2 years or whatever.
Low key. Elephants are though.
Yeah, that is true. I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
The internet is your best friend. So if you have any questions, go Google it. If you want to find a doula, look it up. First of all, Google it and then look it up on Instagram. You can always search hashtags. They are your best friend. So
hashtags, you can look for Black. There's so many hashtags and you can find them there around.
Yeah. Yeah. When I was looking for hairstylists, I just searched up locks or starter locks Denver. Man, it was very slim, but yeah. And also word of mouth is good too for people who have businesses or whatever. sometimes that's how you get most of your clientele, from your clients telling other people that you helped them out.
Yeah.
So if you don't have Instagram, social media, it's not the end of the world. It's really not. Word of mouth is important too.
Yeah.
So just find what works for you and capitalize on that.
I agree.
Yep. That's it for me. What about you guys?
I would just say, if you're a mom or a soon-to-be mom, I would say consider a doula in your process. Just because I feel like it's something I would think is necessary for myself. I can't speak for everybody, but I think it's someone that you should have there with you to help you with your experience. And I mean, at least research it and see if it's something for you and your family, because it could be, and you just don't know because you haven't done the research to do so.
Yeah, it seems like when you go to hospitals, you're just a number. And even during the birthing process, you're just a number. Right. So the doctor will come in when you're like literally having the baby, as you're having the baby, and you won't really see them much in between that. So you're going to have questions, or even when you go home from the hospital, you got questions, and it's like, who do I ask? I mean, you could ask your mom, but they have a bias.
Mama might be busy.
No, seriously.
Or she may raise, kids differently.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think people have their own idea of what raising kids are like, and a doula
definitely.
Yeah. Their own idea. Like, so you're kind of like, you can ask the doula, and the doula can tell you. It's kind of like solicited opinion.
Yeah, unbiased opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree. Well, that's all I have for my final thought this week.
Do you have any final thoughts, special guest?
I have no final thoughts. But I do appreciate you guys for allowing me to be on your podcast.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I'm just now learning. I've never met you, Una, so it's nice meeting you as well.
Nice meeting you too, girl.
People in Colorado now, and I'm like, wait, what?
I know.
Like I'm like, where were y'all when I was there? So
no, she wasn't here. I think. Well, you went to Marbella with us like a year or two.
Wait, Kayla, you went to Marbella?
No. Oh. Y'all saying you? I said you went to Marbella with me. You went. Well, okay. Because I didn't even know Kayla in high school either. I didn't know Kayla until I got to college. But she went to George with Jeffrey.
Oh, you might know
his sister. You think she
knows Sheree? I was thinking about Jasmine. She went to George for a little while.
Oh, okay. Una's best friend Jasmine went to George as well, so she was seeing if you knew her. But yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
it's so funny. When you're from a place or you went to high school, some people be like, you know this person? You be like, nah,
no, I've never seen them a day in my life. But that's what's up. I'm glad y'all know each other. Y'all connected. Because I don't know. Can't recall.
Yeah, but I have no final thoughts except it's nice to get to know another person in Colorado, and
yes, ma'am.
Being on Melanin Voices, and you guys keep this going.
Can't wait to meet you in March.
Yes.
Meet you.
Yeah.
See
you. Everything.
Hopefully I'll see you soon. I'll be in Denver in like 2 weeks.
Oh, bet. Wait, hold on.
Will you be here in 2 weeks?
I know. What day?
The 24th to the 29th. Okay, cool. Okay.
I'm not leaving till the 30th. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, great.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on or whatever.
Yes, and thanks for tuning in, listeners. Hit us up.
Yes, melaninvoices1@gmail.com and Melanin Voices Podcast on Instagram, and we're on Twitter and Facebook. So
Melanin Voices.
Oh, we released our visual last week, you guys. So go to our YouTube and comment on it to give me some motivation to keep doing it.
Yes, thanks, Mariah.
I don't know if I want to, but we'll see. All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.